Happy day students. Welcome to Sun Academy Group of Schools, Pallikaranai, Grade 8 Science. And today's topic for discussion is Chapter 5, Coal and Petroleum. In this part 2, we are going to discuss about petroleum and natural gases, which are also examples of natural resources. And what is this petroleum? This petroleum is actually a dark colored, thick crude oil which is found below the ground in certain areas, and it is also called as liquid fossil fuel, and it has a very strong foul smell which is quite disturbing, and it is commonly also called as crude oil, and petroleum is generally called as black gold because of its high economical value. And do you know how this particular liquid fossil fuel got the name petroleum? Come on, let us find the answer. Its name is actually derived from a Latin word. Petra means rock and oleum means oil, and thus petroleum literally means rock oil. Do you all know how this petroleum is being formed? Actually, this petroleum oil was formed by the decomposition of the remains of living organisms in the sea. That is, when the living organisms in the sea were dead, they got buried under the sea millions of years ago. And it is believed that millions of years ago, the tiny plants and animals which lived in the sea died, and then their dead bodies sank to the bottom of the sea and were soon covered with mud and sand. And later, due to high pressure, heat, action of bacteria, and in the absence of air, the dead remains of tiny plants and animals were slowly converted into petroleum. And the petroleum thus formed got trapped between two layers of impervious rocks, that is, non-porous rock, which is not going to allow the oil to pass through them, and they form an oil deposit. And this petroleum is not a single compound. It is actually a mixture of several compounds. And hence, the petroleum, since it is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin and wax, etc., these different compounds have to be extracted or separated from them. And the process of separating the various constituents or fractions of petroleum is known as refining. And this process is generally carried out in a petroleum refinery. Now let us discuss about the various constituents of petroleum, that is the various components that we obtain from petroleum, and they are gas, petrol, naphtha, kerosene, diesel and bitumen, and all these are obtained or they are separated by a process called fractional distillation. And the various uses of these components are petroleum gas in liquid form, which is called as LPG, is used as a fuel for home and industry. And petrol, we all know it is the most familiarized motor fuel, aviation fuel and solvent for dry cleaning. Kerosene, it is used as a fuel for stoves, lamps and for jet aircraft. What about diesel? And diesel is also used as a fuel for heavy motor vehicles and electric generators. Coming to lubricating oil, it is used for lubrication purpose in order to reduce friction. Paraffin wax, It is used in order to prepare ointments, candles, Vaseline, etc. And bitumen is used as paint as well as it is used for metaling the road surfaces. Now let us start our discussion about natural gases. And these natural gas are very important fossil fuel because it can be transported easily through pipes and it can be stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas, that is CNG. And apart from that, it is used for power generation. It is also used as a fuel for transport vehicles and it is a cleaner fuel. That is, when CNG is being burnt, it causes a very less amount of pollution and hence it is called as the cleaner fuel. And the greater advantage of CNG is that it can be used directly for burning in home and factories where it can be supplied through pipes. Such a network of pipeline exists in Gujarat and in some parts of Delhi and other places. And natural gases are also used as starting material for manufacturing number of chemicals and fertilizers. Thank you, students.